I'm going to just say right now, a very casual spring concert. There are always best laid plans and whatnot, but I have a really great program. What I'm going to be lacking in stuff for these kids is going to be well made up for by the quality of what you're about to hear tonight. This is by far the finest concert band we've had in Eagleville since I've been here. You all that have been a part of getting through these concerts and listening from when they were little as freshmen and even beginning band, when you hear what you're about to hear tonight, you're just going to be really impressed. These kids have developed as musicians, they've developed as young people about to go out into the world, and I'm just very happy. I'm excited. I've put a lot of things on the program because they can play it, and I'm just really excited. We're going to start out with a concert march, which is how every concert should start. So we're going to begin with March Militaire. Before we play our next song, I want to give some students an opportunity to get some extra applause. We had several opportunities for students to participate in different honor bands throughout the second half of the semester. And we took a group of students to Tennessee Tech, we took a group of students to MTSU, and we actually had one student that was able to rank in the mid-state level and participate in mid-state honor band for MTSBOA. So I'd like to first recognize those students that went to Tennessee Tech. If you all please stand. We have Brianna Williams, Tabitha Ashley, Craig Gary Milstead, and Nathan Crump. For the MTSU Wind Band Conference, we had another group of students. Some will stand again, and some you'll see a little different. So Wind Band Conference, if you'll stand, those members. Same group. We're going to add Shanna Clark to that group. Shanna Clark was a freshman. This is something that I was very proud of all of these students that participated. And this particular event had CDs for them. So I'm going to give them their CDs at this point. Craig Huckle, if you'll come up and get yours. Tara Maxwell. Tabitha Ashley. Brianna Williams. Here. And Shannon Clark. Give them another round of applause. And finally, I do want to recognize our mid-state ranking student. This is for Craig Huckala, who played the horn for a very short amount of time to make mid-state rank. We're very proud of him. And so this is for Craig. It says, MTS VOA All Region, Craig Huckala Horn, Senior High Bronze Band. Next is Blue Ridge Impressions. This is a song that the composer wrote with the idea of following a drop of water as it hits the top of a mountain and then trickles its way down through as water would go. And so you'll hear a beautiful point where it hits the lake. And it's just kind of a nice little imagery that the kids have enjoyed learning. So this is called Blue Ridge Impressions. The second semester is when we start focusing on the individual players and working on smaller ensembles. So the percussion class always works on some pieces that are written exclusively for percussion. And we have two pieces that they developed. One of them is called Three Amigos, and you'll hear that one now. A little bit later, you'll hear Marissa's Merengue. We're actually kind of subtitling this Two Amigos because we're missing one amigo tonight. But you won't know. But just in case you hear a little bit of a gap, that's the third young. So that's okay. And let's give them just a little bit more time. Scared at the beginning. Just once. Hold on. I made a joke the other day, now that they made those Snickers commercials, that I need to just have a bag of Snickers to pass out to the divas, but they're not divas. They're doing a good job. You ready? All right, hang on. Melinda Dickens is our elementary art teacher for the elementary part of the school, and she organized that night. And it was just a really remarkable evening that focused on all of the arts that are here at school. We had our drama club and our high school art combined, coordinated together to do a shadow puppet, which we had. It was Craig Huckle was involved with that, and I'm not sure if we had anyone else. And then we also had, of course, artwork displayed for grades K through 8. And then our band members got to play several solo and ensemble groups, and that was one of the pieces that we played. Marissa was another. The next piece that we'll be playing are examples from our solo and ensemble events that some were played for solo and ensemble night, or for solo and ensemble day, that was just a week ago. And some were performed only on Arts Night. So we wanted to share those with you. We're going to split those up into two different sections. And what I'd like to do before they come out is, for Solo and Ensemble Day, there are awards that are presented for students that receive the two highest ratings. There are a possible score of 5 ratings that they can get for performance. It's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the top 3 are superior, excellent, and good. And all of our high school events were in the top 2 categories for the day, and I think that's probably the first time that that's happened. So I was very happy with that. And what I'd like to do at this point is give out our excellent rating performance medals for that before we do some of our solo and ensemble. So, at this time, if these people will please come forward. Stephanie DeForno got a solo on clarinet. She's holding a tenor sax. Shannon Clark on her solo got an excellent award. Morris got an excellent award for his solo performance. Too many awards, Tara Maxwell for her solo performance. And Nathan Kahn got an excellent solo award for his. Good. Those are our solo performances. We had some ensemble events that also received excellent ratings. So we want to recognize those as well. We had 2 duets. Lori Carlton and Craig Huckala got an excellent rating on their Stay up here. You go. I'm leaving Lori up here. She was in 2 events. Her second event was also an excellent rating, and a duet with Tabitha Ashley. So you 2 ladies are coming. So next, I wanted to share with you some of our solo events, and well, let's start with our grunter over here, since he's volunteered. Craig Huckala has a very important piece that he's worked on for actually how long? About 2 years, and he will, in our next slot, be getting his solo Superior Award for his performance. He's going to play an excerpt from that solo. This is called Marceau de Concert. Marceau de Concert. Go ahead. Katie Shockey, and they're playing a piece that's called Themes from Judas Maccabus. often. And this piece is just a beautiful piece that I introduced to the band, and it's become one of their favorites. It's a beautiful piece. It does not feature much percussion, but they had their own two pieces. After that downer, we're going to kick it up with another percussion piece. This one is Marissa's Merengue. This piece is composed by Lalo Davila, who is the professor of percussion at MTSU. In fact, he had just started as professor of percussion when I was a student there, and just always have appreciated the education I got from him. And this was composed by him for his daughter named Marissa. So this is a fun little piece. We've got all our amigos for this one. Oh, yeah, he needs that. There we go. You know, bless their hearts, they're struggling with a small stage.
Yeah.
It's not a lack of abilities in any way. But the good news is that the board this year, the school board approved that we obviously need an auditorium and classrooms. then the county commission started their round of meetings that moved this forward. It has passed the first meeting, which is the Health and Education Committee, that basically agrees with the school board and passes it on to finances. So the passes this is that the auditorium will be open and ready for business, along with a new band room and choral facility and several classrooms that are needed to help get rid of all of these portables that we're using in 2012. So it's good news and bad news. Some of these people are very happy and some could care less. So now this is another superior rated performance from solo and ensemble called Marissa's Merengue. We're going to now go to a full band piece called Samba Caliente. This is by composer Elliot Del Borgo, who was the guest composer in residence for those students that went to the Tennessee Tech Festival of Winds and Percussion. So they actually got to play a piece by this composer, not this one.
This is Anderson.
For clarinets. band auditions, the percussion are assigned certain selections, and one of our color guard girls thought it sounded so cool she decided to learn the whole piece, and she ended up playing it for solo and ensemble and got a superior. This is Brittany Parker. In our ensemble groups, the clarinet piece that you just heard got a superior rating. Ladies, if you'll come up. Brianna Williams, Stephanie Dodd, Shannon Clark, and Katie Sharp. The clarinet trio that you heard earlier also got a superior rating, so we're very happy for that. Congratulations, ladies. The trio that you heard from Tara and Sterling and Corey also got a superior rating. If you all come up, please. And the members of the percussion ensemble for their two pieces, they played Three Amigos and Marissa's Merengue. Got some good ratings. You guys have performed on that? Come up, please. Brady Gaines, awesome. Brittany Parker again. Chris Whittington again. Like a assembly. Austin Ellis. And Hayden Bell. I also want to recognize another group of students for the did I forget? Sorry. Tabitha and Brianna on their duet. Anybody else? Yes. Okay. Another group of students I'd like to recognize is for Rutherford County. They have a very special honor band that students have to audition for to get into, and it's based on the MTS VOA auditions that happen in December. And we had our highest number this year of participants, and I was very proud of all of those students, and I'd like to recognize them also. If you'll please come forward. Can we get announce your names, everyone? All county. Yeah, they don't listen. Okay, so here. Brianna Williams. This year. This is our MTS VOA Concert Performance Assessment. This is when we take the concert band, to perform for ratings against 3 other judges who decide if we're playing at the level that we should. And this was the first year in the history that I've been in, and I believe probably in the history of Eagle School, where we got superior ratings, not only for the sight reading, which is impressive enough, but for our prepared music as well. So you're about to hear Creed, which was the piece that was judged that got us our superior ratings, and it's been one of our favorite pieces to work on this year. Features a solo by Nathan Crump. Creed, oh, Jimmy. I got one more. I got excited about that. We have a quintet that worked on a group. Quintet?
It doesn't matter.
Right. This is a favorite from Arts Night called Jenny's Jig. Hey. Friday night is the annual Murfreesboro Main Street Jazz Fest, and which is usually the annual rainstorm. Hopefully they won't do that to us, but we usually get to tuck our performance in no matter what. We'll begin at 6 o'clock on the square in Murfreesboro, and we're going to give you a little taste of our performance, playing a piece called Jammin' with Charlie. You'll see several of our clarinets switch to saxophones, Craig switch to trumpets. We have a lot of things. In this piece, we have 2 solo features. The first solo, if you'll stand, is going to go to Nathan Cron. You'll stand up. Our second solo is going to be Sterling Scott. Something that is important to me with our jazz band this year is that we work on legitimate improvisation. And so the solos you hear tonight are not written down on a piece of paper, and I have no idea what they're going to play.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm very excited. They've done a terrific job with this. So they'll stand when it's time for them to play their solos. I'm very excited. This is a piece called Jammin' with Charlie. We have one last selection and just a few more things to go over before we get that. The parents, for all of your help this year. We had probably the greatest amount of parent support, which is probably why you heard the greatest concert tonight. Every time that we needed help with helping feed the kids for contests and trying to put together organizational things, we always had people stepping up. The solo and ensemble day was probably our greatest volunteer size, and we definitely got just at or a little bit over $1,000 profit that day. So that's really good for us. We like to see big numbers for fundraisers, and we can't do it without parent support. We've had some really terrific parents doing all sorts of things. I want to make sure I don't forget that one of our parents, who's not an officer but has done a huge amount of work year after year, putting together a terrific scrapbook. And as my part tonight, and as some other things you're going to see a little bit later, things are in progress. We have a lot of things in progress. But we have a fantastic scrapbook that Miss Tabitha Ashley's mom, Teresa, has built for us. She's up here. Of some clips of things that I've gotten a hold of, but it's not near as much material as Mr. Joe Cron is going to share with us towards the end of Mom, this is why we have our screen and projector blocking your view tonight. The officers this year have done a terrific job. We've had a lot of challenges. We've gone up against swine flu. We've gone up against school board changes. We've gone against administrative things where we've been really working hard to make our year work, and administration has been so supportive for us this year. We've been really helpful, or really grateful for all of the support. And the band booster officers, I just want to thank them. And I'm scared to death because most of them are parents of seniors. So I'm going to invite Rena Cron, our band booster president, along with Joe Cron, to step up. And I'd actually like to just recognize our other officers. Missy Esslinger has been our secretary. She's down here in the audience. The newsletters that you've received are our first ever for our organization, and she did a terrific job putting newsletters together for us this year. We also have a terrific treasurer that's bared with me throughout the year. This is Miss Angel Parker.
Yes.
The parents have unload equipment back and forth for football games and on the field and off the field and contests, and just about every single time that I can remember, we had Tim Ellis was there. So
Yes.
He's a senior parent as well, so we need some heavy lifters next year. So we definitely need to help. This last piece, they will tell you, if they're honest, that this is not their favorite piece. But
I love this song. I don't know what you're talking about.
I told them that it will be your favorite piece. This is called Big Band Classics.
I love it.
A little in the mood time, buddy. A little Glenn Miller time.
first year in the Eagleville Band program? How many of you, is this your second year? Third year? Another 3 years. Fourth year? How many of you have been in band since you were in 8th grade? Started, no, band. If you've been in band in 7th grade, started in 7th grade. Okay, started in 6th grade. Now, started here in 5th grade.
One.
Now, each one of these kids have just done everything possible. Lori Carlton came in as color guard, found out she played clarinet, and then I made her switch to saxophone. She even had a brief period on oboe. So, Lori has just done an outstanding job all year and all 4 years, and I'm just going to hate missing all of these guys. But I'm going to go through each one of them and give you something special about each of them. Jennifer Warren has been the quiet volunteer. Just anything that we needed, she'd just step in and take care of it, and just always make sure that we had what we needed. She's really worked hard on color guard. She learned everything she needed to on percussion. Jennifer, I can say, it's the most important thing for her to make sure she gets something right, and so I've always appreciated that attitude about her, and I appreciate that very much. Jana Anderson, I can count on to make us all laugh. Yes. There it is, right there. Jana just has always had just the greatest attitude. Just when things are bad, she's like this. When things are great, she's like this. And I just, again, doesn't want to give up. And so she's always wanting to make sure she's doing the right thing as well. Miss Amanda Brown, been with us all. She came in from Rockville Middle, one of my Rockville recruits, and I was extremely proud of the effort. I'm going to say just one little memory of the first football game performance for her freshman year. I did not know that Amanda had a fear of performing in front of people. You would think that somebody who doesn't like performing in front of people would not want to be a part of a group that performs in front of them. So the first football game comes, and Amanda is in tears and saying, I can't go out there, I just can't do it, I just can't do it. So this was me going, I know, it's so hard. I pushed her all the way to the back sideline, and she made it through the show, and kicking and screaming, I can always know that Amanda's going to stand up and do what she needs to do. So I'm on. Has served in every capacity as a leader with this group. She has always been on clarinet. She has often been on saxophone. She served as our drum major for a couple of years. And regardless of whatever status, has always been... I could be louder than you. She has always been the student that is making sure that I'm as organized as I can be. She's very much reliable, and I've been very proud to have her with me, and she's just a terrific student to have, and I will miss her greatly. And I probably won't miss her much because she'll keep coming back. Stephanie Dodd is my fighter. Yes. And but Stephanie fights to make sure that she gets her parts right, and she also works on making sure that everybody's a part of it. When I put her in the bass drum line, she automatically started working to make sure that everybody in that line in front of her knew their parts, and she kept things together, and I've been very happy when she's worked hard and she's put in a lot of time, and I appreciate the time and effort she's put in. So thank you very much. Craig Huckala knows that has played since he's been here. He lied when he came in and said he was a clarinet player because he didn't want to play the baritone he'd been playing. So he started on clarinet. And then I figured out that he could probably play other things, so we moved into bass clarinet. This may be the incorrect order, but he's also played saxophone, trumpet, mellophone in the marching band, French horn he eventually got to, and we put him in percussion several years. And the reason I've done this is he is an impeccable musician. He is the one student out of several, because all of these kids play multiple instruments. Craig, I know, could always play any instrument that I put in his hands, and he would struggle and work until he got it. And so I'm very proud of him. So thank you very much. Yeah? Oh, I know. I'm trying not to look too much at them, actually. But Nathan Cron has been with me since he was this small. And I have always been proud of how hard this boy has worked. He has worked his tail off to make sure that he could learn. And you can tell when he played that solo tonight in Jammin' with Charlie, that's what he's done on his own. He has worked and worked to make sure that he's become the musician that you heard tonight. And I am so proud of him, and I am so proud of what the musician that he has become. He always represents us well when we've gone to other organizations and other events and honor band events. He has always been reliable to be the one that does what he's supposed to do. And except when he took off to Dairy Queen and Tennessee Tech this year.
No, we went to McDonald's. That was McDonald's.
McDonald's.
I was hungry.
But he fessed up, so he's
I wanted a milkshake.
All right.
We both wanted a milkshake.
Next is Austin Ellis. Austin, we have Austin came in just a little bit after everybody else, but he has always worked at trying to master reading music, and that's always been important. A lot of times drummers can slide with playing what sounds good, and Austin's really worked at making sure that he can read what's on the page, and that's an important factor for me as a teacher. And I know that I'm leaving him with the knowledge of things that a lot of drummers don't get because he wanted to learn and he worked hard to do it. So I'm very proud of Austin as a lead.
Well, I remember the first day I came in, I was like, I want to do a band. She was like, well, we can put you on a nice baritone. I was like,
What's that?
I didn't know what that was. I was like, cool. Yeah. I like this big drum. What's that?
Big shiny. Percussion suited him very much. Hayden Balance came in he came in his freshman year. Hayden came in his freshman year and just said, I've always wanted to play drums. Can I do that? And I was like, absolutely. So we brought him in. And Hayden has just become the master player as well. He wants to do things right. He wants to make sure that he's very ample on every percussion instrument and doesn't get afraid to perform. He's performed on a drum set with our jazz festival group, and he has performed in our marching band drum line. He's performed in the percussion ensemble. He's put in a lot of time and effort, and it's hard because he's doubled as an excellent basketball player, and he spent a lot of time stretched between those two, and I never felt like he was shorting us in any way whatsoever. So thank you, Nathan. And I've talked about Chris quite a lot, but the last thing that I can say about Chris is just the fact that he's the helper. He's going to make sure that again, and all of these kids, they're just great examples of leaders and great examples for our classmen coming up. And Chris, you heard him on guitar in the jazz band, and that was something. Again, he's our first guitar player that I put a book in front of, and he didn't close it and put it away. He actually read what was there on the page. So I'm just glad to have musicians in front of you tonight. However they came, however they started, on this stage are 12 musicians, and I wish them the best of luck for the rest of their lives.